What's up, everyone? Happy Monday. It's the start of race week, or deload week. So Hien and I both have the same workout on our programs today. She actually already did hers. It's my turn. Today's workout is 4 by 750 meters. I'm gonna really shorten the rest, so I'm going to only take an hour. Make that a minute and 40 seconds in between each interval. In many rowing circles, is considered to be a relatively good 2K predictor workout. One key for race week is, ideally, I'm trying to find that balance between getting sufficient rest while staying sharp. So decreasing the volume, but keeping the volume that I do sharp enough that I don't lose that extra gear that I'll need on race day. So a little bit of a balancing act. So with that said, let's jump into it and see how it goes. Both of us, the goal for that workout was to do those 4 intervals at target 2K race pace. So
that's right.
So for Hien, that was 2:15, and I think you were comfortably under that. I, on the other hand, though, struggled, and as you just saw, exploded midway through the 4th interval. And who knows, right? There could be a million reasons why some days you just don't quite have it. It's just part of the journey. So I'm not gonna worry about that too much. Overall, I actually felt pretty good up until that point. But anyways, that was the last hard workout for us. And really now we are in tapering mode, making sure that we're getting rest, getting good sleep, eating well, sort of getting ourselves in the right headspace as well ahead of Sunday. A lot of times beginners, if they're doing their first 2K, they'll sit down on the erg, set the pace monitor for 2,000 meters, and just start pulling as hard as they can without really having a race plan. And that usually is not successful, or certainly is not going to lead to an optimal outcome. How do I talk about it briefly?
Maybe on another night. I'm tired too. I honestly did not absorb anything of what you said, of what the... I'm sorry, I'm so tired.
It's been a pretty busy, I'm pretty brain dead too. I'm actually having trouble even finding words. Yeah, I'll check back in tomorrow after tomorrow's workout. I'll give an update then, which will hopefully be a little more coherent. But just know that, we're doing our best to rest up for Sunday. Very excited about it. We have, I don't know how many friends we have coming over, but anyways, it'll be a small crowd. I'll check back in with you all after tomorrow's row. Okay, so did exactly what I wanted to do today. Nothing more, nothing less. In that last 500 meters, I was experimenting a little bit with bumping up the stroke rate and shortening up my stroke. I've given myself a hard time on this channel for not being a good sprinter and never really having much of a sprint to finish my pieces. And I think part of that is I, just for whatever reason, am not willing to commit to bumping the stroke rate up and shortening my stroke. We'll see if that shows up on Sunday or not. All Hien and I have left is the visualization 2K on Saturday, just to get our minds right. Hien's not home right now, otherwise I would get her take on how race week has gone so far, but from what I can tell over the last couple weeks, she's hit all her workouts pretty much on the button, if not even slightly faster. So I'm really excited to see how Sunday will go for her. This will truly be her first time ever doing a 2K test. We'll maybe do one final check-in on Saturday before race day, but in any case, talk to you guys soon. Hey everyone, little wet and overcast outside, which I'm actually really happy about because that means it will be nice and cool in the garage tomorrow. Temperatures have already started getting close to 80, and this next week is supposed to start getting really warm again. So I'm very thankful that at least for race day, temps will be in the 50s, the garage will be nice and cool, perfect conditions for a good hard piece. So give you a sneak peek. Got the garage set up, got 3 rowers lined up, Concept 2 Model Ds. One of my buddies was very gracious to let us borrow his on the left over here, and then I went out and actually found a used one on Facebook Marketplace, low mileage, very reasonably priced, great condition. So I actually thought it was a steal of a deal, ended up just buying it. So I'm now the owner of 2 ergs, and if we end up not really using it much, Concept 2 ergs hold their resale value really well. As long as you take care of them, they last forever, so not too worried about that. Oh, and as you can see, it is Masters weekend, so I've been torn so far today between wanting to get mentally focused on the 2K, but also being glued to my phone and the TV watching the Masters. This is the one tournament of all the PGA tournaments each year that I really enjoy watching. So tomorrow's get together with our friends, serving both as a rowing event and also as a Masters viewing party afterwards. Talk a little bit more about what we got planned today. Today's session is more about mental preparation. In fact, this whole week has really been about mental prep. You know, come race week, you're not going to gain a whole lot more fitness in the days leading up to a 2K. So it's really all about rest and getting your mind right. And a big part of getting your mind right for a 2K is rehearsal. So, or even before that, having a race plan and running through it. I just did my full 2K warm-up, which was 5,000 meters. So my 2K warm-up is one that I have shamelessly stolen from Cam Buchan. I've mentioned him a couple times on the channel. He's a Team GB rower. There's a lot of great YouTube content. But he advocates for a 5K warm-up. One of the big things I've learned as I have been training for 2Ks is that most of the time, the vast majority of the time, people don't warm up enough because they're worried about using too much energy ahead of the 2K. And that is totally understandable, but because it is so high intensity, it takes a while and certainly as I get older, I have found it takes me longer to get warmed up. So I'll give you the breakdown. The first 1,000 meters is just sliding back and forth. You're not even looking at the screen, not concerned about split. It's just to get the body moving and the blood pumping. Then the next 2,000, I aim to row at my steady state pace, or just even slightly above, or slightly slower than. Just again, to get a sweat going. So I want to be nice and sweaty by the end of that first 3,000 meters. I'll take a short break, sip some water, maybe do a little stretching, and then I hop back on for 2,000 meters where I will do every 400 to 500 meters, I'll do a 12 to 15 stroke burst, starting at lower rates, slightly higher splits, and then gradually increasing the intensity of each subsequent burst. I will finish off that last 2,000 meters of warm up with 1 minute at race pace. Cam really advocates for doing a full minute, so about 30 strokes at race pace, which, as any of you who've done high intensity interval training will know, very often your second and third intervals feel better than the first. It can sometimes take that first interval to send a signal to your body that it needs to be ready, right? Everything needs to be firing, ready to go. And then so now what I'll do is a visualization row. I'll set 2,000 meters on the pace monitor, and really the focus is running through my race plan in my head. So all of the cues that I have teed up for another one of my friends who will be coxing me through the piece tomorrow. But I want to run through all those cues in my head, and interspersed throughout that visualization 2K, I'll do 3 20-stroke pieces. So 60 hard strokes, the beginning, the middle, and the end, and that'll be it. But the most important part is running through the race plan in my head and visualizing myself executing the plan. Let's jump into it, and I'll check in with you guys after. That's it. Race prep all done. Just get a good night's sleep tonight, eat a solid meal. I don't usually eat much in the mornings anyways, but especially before an erg test, I'll probably eat something really light. So I'm gonna make sure to fill up tonight. Let's see how Hien gets on with her last row. Saturday night.
Here we are.
Here we are. How are you feeling?
Before the race. I feel good. I'm tired.
Yeah, it was a very busy week for both of us. Probably the busiest week of work I've had this year, actually. So this taper week coincided nicely with that. But how are you feeling about the race tomorrow?
I'm feeling okay. I am not overly confident, but I'm not scared. Like I think I put in some work, and 2:15 is a good goal. Like I think I might be able to reach it. But I don't think it's a slam dunk by any means.
Yeah, I think it's good to not go into something assuming it's going to be a slam dunk. But at the same time, I think you should feel confident in your training. It hasn't been a lot of training, but the training you have done has been on point. So I'm very confident in your ability to pull it off.
Thank you, honey.
One thing we have not talked much about yet is race planning. I put together a fairly simple race plan for Hien, which, similar to mine, breaks things up into 500-meter chunks. Even if you're a beginner, always go into any erg test, not just 2,000-meter test, but any erg test with a race plan. Again, we break it into 500-meter chunks.
Here, I'll lay down for the visualization of this. Let me just pretend like I'm on the erg. Okay, how am I starting the race? I'm ready.
I'm gonna make sure you're not asleep.
I'm not asleep, I'm visualizing.
All right. Okay, so your first 500. And before you know it, you'll be done.
All right, I can see it now. My last few strokes.
You see a time with an 8 at the front?
I think so. Is that 2:15 pace puts me under sub 9 minutes?
Sub 2:15 puts you at sub 9 minutes, yes.
Okay. I think so. I think I see something with 8 in the front. Let's see. What was that? I want to say thank you to, who was it, the commenter?
Yeah, at Julia Rowing. That's right. She commented a couple days ago. So thank you very much for subscribing. But she said her 2K PB is an 8:43, which is a 2:10.8.
Okay.
If I do my math correctly.
Well, thank you, Julia, first of all, for the lovely compliment. And thank you for leaving the comment. It's very inspiring. I hope that I can get close to Julia's PB.
I think you're going to do great.
Thanks. I can see it now.
So that wraps up our week of race prep. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep chasing. Peace.